Guys, if you're like me and you have trouble falling asleep, listen up. Our friends at Dream Honey have created a delicious, sweet melatonin-infused honey as an all-natural alternative to traditional sleep supplements. Dream Honey will help you fall asleep fast, stay asleep through the night, and wake up feeling ready to take on the next day. It's drug-free, non-habit forming. It tastes just like the sweet honey that you're familiar with. Dream Honey is the most convenient melatonin supplement on the market, and it tastes incredible. Take a spoonful by itself or mix it in with your nighttime tea. You can even bake with it or put it in your protein smoothie. It is the sweetest way to fall asleep. Are you ready to give it a try? Go to dreamhoney.com. Use the promo code Chael20. That's going to get you 20% off your first order. Go to dreamhoney.com, promo code Chael20, or just click on the link below. Dana White was doing an interview. He made a very interesting comment on Amanda Nunes, and it was just an observation, but he said, Amanda is not the young, hungry savage that she was on her title run. Then Dana just qualified it. He said, look, she's got a family now, and she's got a daughter. She's got her own business. She has millions of dollars. She's achieved the height. She's got GOAT status. I mean, everybody thinks that Amanda's down on her lips. I feel as though you guys are... Amanda's the world champion. Are you guys not aware of that? Does anybody want to correct me? Well, Chael, she most certainly is not. Juliana Pena is. I watched her win it. Amanda's the world champion. 145 pounds. Right now, she is the champion of the world with the big, beautiful participation points to go with it. She is also the #1 contender at 135 pounds, which, should she win, would make her champ. And we've seen some champs. We have not seen champ again, right? I mean, that's the beauty to losing. If you want to be a 2-time champion, you have to have lost the belt somewhere along the way. There's a number of people that try to play a vernacular game and cheat that system. Like, they'll defend the belt 5 times and then declare themselves a 5-time champion. You're not. You're a 1-time champion. I don't make the rules. I'm not trying to take away from you. If you want to be a 5-time champion, you had to have lost the thing in between. It could have been vacated. It could have been stripped. You could have been defeated. Either way, you got to lose the thing to come back and get it. Amanda is now in a spot to be champ again. It would make her the first ever 2-time champ. I mean, it's an interesting spot. Before you go and feel terrible for Amanda, I thought I would just add that. I thought I would just throw that in there. She's an amazing opportunity right now if she looks at it that way. It's the same thing with Charles Oliveira. He is now in an opportunity to become a 2-time lightweight champion of the world, which he would not have had he not been stripped in the first place. Now, you do what you want with that, right? That's not a positive spin. That's just a reality. I'm making sure that we have our vernacular right. But the days of thinking that we've got to redraw Amanda, we've got to rethink Amanda, she's changing gyms and she's getting new coaches and new workout partners, we got to throw the bath out with the baby out with the bath. You got the expression. The point is this, guys. There was one completed round the night that Amanda lost her championship. One round had been completed where 3 licensed judges turned a scorecard in. They all had it the same way that you all had it. The same way that Juliana Pena herself had it, which is that Amanda won. Amanda lost a position in that match, and we talk about it all the time. If you ever find yourself in a fight that's harder than you thought it was going to be, that nothing will unravel an athlete quicker than that, mentally. Nothing will mentally rattle and start to wind an athlete down and make them want to quit and sail it in and try another night. Nothing will terrify and scare you and make you have to do what we psychologically call taking inventory. I'm 7 minutes in. I have 1 round down. It's a 5-round fight. If I'm feeling like this now, times that by 4, I won't be able to defend myself at all times. I better get out of here right now. That's what happens. That's all that happened there. Amanda hit Juliana Pena as hard as she could in the face, repeatedly. Every other time in Amanda's career where she has hit somebody as hard as she can in the face, that person went down and the fight was over. Conor McGregor is the closest that has ever come and said what I just said and admitted it to you, the audience. And it was his first fight with Nate Diaz. But that's exactly what happened. Conor hit Nate with missiles that put everybody else down. Put Jose Aldo down in 11 seconds. Put Eddie Alvarez down before they ever saw the 3rd round. Put down every single... He hit Nate with it. Nate walked forward. It didn't hurt him. It's a bigger guy, he had a better chin, he could take the shot, but it makes things unravel. So I bring that to you because Dana is most definitely correct. Most definitely. That hunger you have, that necessity to win, is a very helpful motivator. I must win. That is a very helpful motivator. I've been in that spot. One of the toughest financial times of my life, but I had $20,000 in checks and bills, envelopes filled out in a stack on my desk. I could not take those to the mailbox. So they would have bounced. And I had a fight coming up, and I had to make it. I had to get through that. And a number of fighters will be able to relate to that. But that built-in necessity of I have to win. It's very different than I want to win. And we have seen athletes overcome it, but they're very few. Floyd Mayweather never really got his credit for that, but Floyd was a purist. He was a competitor. He wanted to win. He wanted to be the best. The money happened to come along with it, but that was not what drove Floyd. That was good news, because the good news is when the money came, his motivation isn't now gone. His motivation remains because it was never tied to the money. Now, I don't know that we know enough about Amanda to make this statement. And we definitely don't know enough about Amanda based on the fight where one round was completed. Ding, ding. She won. She won the round. She was winning the fight. We don't know enough about her to know. But is she going to do what Conor McGregor did when he rematched Nate Diaz and be more efficient with the energy? Because that's a very risky game, right? Imagine Amanda comes out and she doesn't throw 100% behind those punches. Juliana got her respect to the point that Amanda is not going to hit her with everything she's got. She's going to lessen. That's a very different fight. Very different fight for Juliana. Very different strategy by Amanda to extend that energy. Go out, get those 3 rounds that you need before you start sailing it in and giving up position and let another person on top of you as you eat up the clock. It's very different. Now, Juliana doesn't have that same urgency. She's not going to be under that same fire. One of the reasons that Juliana's wrestling works so well is she had an urgency. If I don't take her down, I could get knocked out. Even if I don't get knocked out, these are really hurting me. It would change the fight. Would it be good or bad? I don't know. I don't have the foggiest idea, but it would be interesting, right? If that's going to be a different contest, it's going to be interesting because Juliana's still going to be able to take those punches, and those punches have not gotten harder. Amanda has definitely peaked out. She throws perfect punches with an incredible amount of power. She knows her range. All those boxes you want to check, but it's not going to get more. And Juliana's chin is not going to get less. So there's going to have to be a different strategy and style by Amanda. And maybe Dana's hitting it on the head. It all has to do with hunger. And this is Amanda's moment to show us. Is she like everybody else where your motivation is directly tied to your earnings? Or is she that rare one like Floyd Mayweather, where the money was a byproduct? I was never here for that in the first place. It's all about achievement. That's a very rare athlete. Floyd gets a very rare credit for having that and be able to pursue it and have a career as long as he did, as effective as he did with all the money that he brought in. I don't know which one Amanda is. I don't know that Amanda knows. I know right now she's confused. She's a little bit lost. She forgets she's the sitting world champion. She has no idea that, oh my goodness, should I get this back over Jules? Not only do I have a massive trilogy fight likely that I could feed into, I will be the first ever champ. I don't think she's looking at it like that. Or if she's looking at it from a different perspective, which a lot of fighters do, which are, hey, win or lose, my time is going to be up some point, and I've got a whole bunch of money and a business and a family waiting for me. I don't know, but that psychological approach matters. And it doesn't come when Bruce Buffer gets out of the ring and they shut the door. It doesn't come when you leave the locker room that night after you got your hands taped up and you got a good warm-up with your coach. It comes right now. It comes in training camp. Who's hungrier? You guys remember Aljo Sterling, but Aljo going in against Peter Yan. Aljo was the underdog. We predicted him very strongly over here. We predicted Sterling because Sterling did not know he was the champion. He behaved and he spoke like somebody who was going out to win the championship in the first place. And I'm getting that same sense from Juliana Pena. She's pissed off. People are questioning her. She doesn't like that. She's got a bit of a chip on her shoulder. She did an interview a week ago saying that Dana's upset that she won, that Dana's golden goose is gone. None of that is true. Business is much better the way that it is now. But if she believes it, she's letting us in on the mindset that she's a lot like Aljo. She's still hungry. She still thinks she's going out there to win something. Those things all matter. As you get down to a fight, you can talk about the punching and slipping outside and roll this way, southpaw versus orthodox. You can do that, but you're missing what makes winners and what makes losers. Either you quit before I quit or vice versa. That's who's going to win. That's not what the audience is told, but that's what every fighter knows. Either you want this more than I want it, or it's vice versa. And that's where somebody's approach and their hunger in training camp becomes so relevant. Right now, we haven't heard a lot from Amanda, but we never do. We never really hear a lot from Amanda. But the one statement that we've heard that was made by Dana is a fair statement. Yeah, she's not in the same position. She doesn't have to win. So now she's going to be faced with a question that we're all going to learn together. Does she want to win absent the beautiful prize?